In at number 10, lied about donating. This one just proves what a liar she really is. In the couple's original divorce settlement from 2017, she won $7 million from Johnny. But she decided to put the money to good use and pledged to donate all of the money to the American Civil Liberties Union and the Children's Hospital of LA. However, in March of 2021, it was exposed that she never actually donated any of the money. But honestly, who's really surprised at this point? Sources close to Depp told Page 6, quote, "The judge thought she was this wonderful human being standing up for mankind because of her supposed generosity, but she was lying on her about the donations." The judge reacted to this news by saying the donation claim was a calculated and manipulative lie. However, Amber's lawyers claimed that she didn't lie and had given the money, just not all of it. I'm not sure why Amber would need over 3 years to give that money away if she was really planning to. In at number 9, stolen story. One of the biggest bombshell allegations against Amber in the course of her divorce has been the accusation that she stole her assault story from her assistant. And she played the story off as her own so she could exploit it for financial gain in the divorce. Heard's former personal assistant testified to the UK High Court that her assault story was used by Amber in Amber's depositions against Depp. The assistant, named Kate James, testified that she told Amber the story in confidence of a horrible incident that happened to her in Brazil that traumatized her. Kate James said on the record, quote, "Amber referred directly to a violent incident that occurred to me 26 years ago, and she twisted it into her own story and she used it for her own use." Adding, "This of course caused me extreme distress and outrage that she would dare to attempt to use the most harrowing experience in my life as her own narrative." And at number 8, leaked phone call. Probably the biggest bombshell over the course of the divorce were these leaked phone calls between Johnny and Amber. In these phone calls, Amber admitted to hitting Johnny Depp. In the call, Heard said, quote, "I'm sorry that I didn't hit you across the face in a proper slap, but I was hitting you. I was not punching you. Babe, you're not punched." Adding, quote, "I don't know what the motion of my actual hand was, but you're fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you." Depp replied, quote, "I left last night. Honestly, I swear to you because I just couldn't take the idea of more physicality, more physical harm on each other." Heard finished off saying that she couldn't promise that she wouldn't get physical again. Adding, quote, "God, I effing get so mad I lose it." So in this call, Amber not only admits to harming Johnny Depp, but she also tried to victim blame him and tell him that she didn't even hit him that hard. Just very manipulative words. And at number 7, ex's support. Back when Amber first made her claims against Johnny, a few of his ex-partners came forward defending Johnny and denying accusations that he got physical with them. 2 of the women were Winona Ryder and Vanessa Paradis. Ryder wrote, quote, "The idea that he's an incredibly violent person is the farthest thing from the Johnny I knew and loved. I cannot wrap my head around these accusations," with her saying that she never knew him to be violent to anyone. She finished off adding, quote, "I don't want to call anyone a liar, but from my experience of Johnny, it's impossible to believe that such horrific allegations are true. I find it extremely upsetting, knowing him as I do." Parody backed up these sentiments, and she wrote that Heard's accusations are, quote, "nothing like the true Johnny I've known, and from my personal experience of many years, I can say he was never violent or harmful to me." And of course, people can change for the worse. However, Amber is the only person who harmed past partners, not Johnny. And at number 6, pooped in bed, and this is why we call her Amber Turd. This one is straight up disgusting, but the couple's housekeeper exposed that Amber Heard pooped in their bed while Heard was with Johnny Depp. Housekeeper Hilda Vargas said in a written statement that she found the feces and knew they were human. Vargas added that after she told this to Johnny, Amber Heard approached her and told her the poop photos had destroyed her marriage. The housekeeper said she apologized to Amber, adding, quote, "I was very nervous and so I apologized, even though I didn't believe that their marital problems were my fault or that I had done anything wrong." The housekeeper finished off saying, quote, "She's a bad temper in my opinion, and I didn't want her to yell at me." So even the housekeeper knew what a bad temper that Amber had during that relationship. Halfway at number 5, investigated for perjury. So this one's actually very recent, and on May 7th of 2021, it was reported that Amber is now being investigated by the LAPD for perjury. This is related to an alleged fight that took place in 2016, where Amber claimed that Johnny trashed their apartment in a fit of rage. New body camera footage from LAPD officers that arrived at their apartment that night shows that the apartment was not trashed at all. Depp's lawyer said in a statement on the matter, quote, "Amber Heard and her friend Rocky Pennington staged the May 2nd crime scene to prove the allegation against Johnny Depp," adding, quote, "The crime scene was an enormous lie. This is the night that allegedly Johnny threw a phone in Amber's face and left a bruise. Amber also claimed that he threw red wine all over their walls and rug. During depositions, the officers claimed that they saw no evidence of a crime committed that night. And now this body camera footage proves that. In at number 4, Aquaman 2. Over the course of the divorce and libel trial, petition signatures have been racking up to demand that Amber Heard get cut from Aquaman 2. Cries for her firing got even louder after Depp was cut from a number of projects following her allegations. As of now, the petition has 1.8 million signatures. In the description of the petition, there are many examples of the lies that Amber has told over the years, and the organizers believe that there should be repercussions for all of Amber's documented lies. The franchise recently revealed that they were keeping Amber on the project, which got tons of backlash. And if Amber really cared about what people thought of her, she'd do the right thing and step down from the project. In at number 3, Johnny's severed finger. This is yet another case of Amber being the violent one, and Depp has claimed that Amber is the reason for his severed finger. He alleged that the incident happened about a month after they were married, when Amber was throwing glass bottles at Johnny. Apparently, one of the bottles was broken and sliced his finger right off. This fight was apparently caused because Johnny wanted her to sign a post-nuptial agreement. As a result of this injury, Johnny had to receive multiple surgeries to correct the severed finger, and even contracted a serious and painful illness because of it. And at number 2, told assistant to lie. Johnny Depp's former estate manager has testified that he lied under oath because Amber Heard forced him to do so, or he would lose his job. This was after Amber was charged with bringing her dogs to Australia illegally and not abiding by the country's restrictions on animal travel. Kevin Murphy, the estate manager, said that during the trial, quote, Amber wanted me to say essentially that it was my fault in one way or another, that the paperwork wasn't completed so that I could take the blame for her. Murphy's statement claimed that Heard said to him, quote, I want your help on this. I wouldn't want you to have a problem with your job. After being pressured into it, Murphy decided to lie under oath to not get in trouble with Amber. Amber was able to escape a conviction for the decision after she publicly apologized for the mistake. And finally, at number 1, Amber's parents took Johnny's side. I honestly think this should be all the proof that anyone needs that Amber is lying about almost everything. Leaked text messages between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's parents show her parents basically siding with him in the divorce, and admitting that Amber's motives are totally a lie. In a long string of messages between Johnny and Paige Heard, Johnny expresses his frustration and pain with the divorce. Paige texted back saying that the lawyers are the reason all the nastiness is happening, and apparently Amber only filed a restraining order against him so Amber would not be evicted from their apartment. One text from Paige said, quote, her dumb lawyer possibly said it as the only way she would not have a place to live in 30 days. She didn't want to do this, I swear to you. The lawyers are frigging things up. Depp responded saying that the injury photos of Amber's face were doctored and she was creating lies. Paige then replied, quote, we didn't talk so please never bring this up, but I'll swear to you this was not her idea, nor did she do it willingly or happily. She was told it was her only option to not being kicked out. Paige then finished off the conversation saying, quote, please don't pass this on if you ever talk to Amber again. I love you, son. Depp's attorney later told the Blast that these messages clearly proved that extortion was the true reason for the hoax against Johnny, not actual harm.
At number 10, allegedly fighting her sister. Johnny Depp isn't the only person that's allegedly been a victim of Amber Heard's violence. There are reports that suggest that Amber has allegedly abused her sister. Coming from the defamation case between Amber and Johnny, a recording from a 2006 reality show featuring Amber's sister Whitney seems to show evidence of a physical altercation between the sisters. In the footage, we see Whitney along with a group of girls sitting around a pool when someone asks her if she had gotten into a fight, when Whitney replies, quote, I got into an altercation. Another person chimes in saying, quote, I can't believe Amber beat your ass. The other girls continue to ask Whitney about the altercation, but she refuses to say more about the incident. The courts are using this as evidence to support the abuse towards Whitney, as Amber was referred to by name, and there were visible signs of abuse on Whitney's body, as well as the fact that Whitney didn't even deny that she had the altercation with her sister. Though there are other people who deny that there was a physical altercation between Whitney and Amber, we have yet to learn whether or not that is true.
In at number 9, Vanessa Paradis. Vanessa Paradis was in a relationship with Depp from 1998 to 2012, and they shared 2 children together. She also made a point to defend Johnny and make it clear this picture Amber was painting of him was false, saying in her statement, quote, "I've known Johnny for more than 25 years and we raised our 2 children together. Through all these years, I've known Johnny to be a kind, attentive, generous, and non-violent person and father." And then referring to the new allegations, she added, quote, "This is nothing like the true Johnny I have known, and from my personal experience of many years, I can say he was never violent or to me." So yet again, another former partner who was brave enough to say the truth about Johnny, even though I'm sure at the time she got tons of hate for going against a fellow woman. And at number 8, Sia. Sia's statements in support of Johnny are the most recent on this list, but out of seemingly nowhere, the singer came out on Twitter to address her support for Depp. She started by tweeting out a video showing the leaked audio recordings of Amber Heard talking about how she had lost it on Johnny in the past. Then she made her support even clearer, tweeting out, quote, "Just showing my public support for Johnny Depp. I mean, I'd love him to get clean and stop with the jewelry, but he's clearly the victim after hearing those tapes." But Sia wasn't even done, and she finished off her support by calling out Amber Heard's former boyfriend, Elon Musk, writing, quote, "Also at Elon Musk, didn't you give her the $7 million she donated from her settlement? She still came out $7 million richer. Why are you protecting her? She will never get the help she needs if we all stay silent." So clearly Sia is very opinionated on the matter and wants to see Amber Heard brought to justice, and really you can't blame her at this point. In at number 7, Allison Parody. The Parody family is very clearly a big fan of Johnny Depp because Vanessa Parody's sister Allison also made a point to defend Johnny. She showed her support in the form of an Instagram post, posting a picture of what looks to be the 2 of them together, then writing in the caption, quote, "You are and always will be family to me. You are one of the funniest and most loving people I know." And it's not always a given for your in-laws to like you, so the fact that they are going out of their way to defend Johnny like this is really huge in my eyes. And at number 6, Lily Rose Depp. And of course his daughter Lily Rose Depp made a point to defend her father against the claims. She first posted a screenshot of an article from People, which showed that the LAPD had been to the couple's house after Amber called them, but they didn't find any proof that Depp had caused any harm, so no charges were pressed. With a statement reading in part, quote, "There was no evidence of any crime. A crime did not occur, so the officers left the scene and left a business card." Then she posted a photo of her and her dad back when she was just a baby, captioning the photo, quote, "My dad is the sweetest, most loving person I know. He's been nothing but a wonderful father to my little brother and I, and everyone who knows him would say the same." So here it is very clear that she supports her father and wants everyone to know that at that point there was no proof of anything other than what Amber had said happened. Halfway number 5, Laura Wasser. Laura Wasser is Johnny Depp's attorney, and of course it's her job to protect and defend Johnny, so she would make statements in support of him. But in one statement where she spoke of the case, she said that Heard was, quote, "attempting to secure a premature financial resolution by alleging abuse," adding, quote, "her current application for a temporary restraining order, along with her financial requests, appears to be in response to the negative media attention she received earlier this week after filing for divorce. Yet Johnny cannot protect himself or Amber from media scrutiny, and Amber's anger certainly cannot drive this dissolution proceeding." Continuing that Amber doesn't need any of Johnny's money because she's a successful actress and should have had plenty of money of her own. With Wasser adding that Heard took advantage of Depp at an emotional time, as his mother had only died 3 days before Heard filed for divorce. So here Wasser is trying to make it clear that Heard has bad intentions and not only wants to exploit Johnny for money, but wants control of her press narrative as well, which I think perfectly shows, the kind of person that Amber is. And at number 4, Paul Bettany. Paul Bettany is an actor who has worked alongside Johnny Depp in 3 movies in the past: Transcendence, The Tourist, and Mordecai. And because of all the times the two have worked together, Bettany figures he was a good person to be a character witness of Depp's. Bettany showed his support on Twitter, writing, quote, "Known Johnny Depp for years and through several relationships. He's the sweetest, kindest, gentlest man I've ever known." Just saying. With most of the replies under the tweet thanking him for speaking out and commenting that he was right now that the news came out that leaked audio recordings showed that Amber had hurt Johnny before. And at number 3, David Yates. Johnny Depp was announced as playing Grindelwald in the sequel film Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. And after the announcement, there were cries to exclude him from the film and recast, after reports surfaced of Amber Heard's accusations. But after much deliberation, the director David Yates and other studio executives made the decision to keep him in the film. And after some backlash, Yates himself came out with a statement on the matter. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Yates said, quote, "Amber's claims were one person who took a pop at him and claimed something. Whatever accusation was out there, it doesn't tally with the kind of human being I've been working with." So clearly here, Yates felt that the accusations were false from the get-go. And at number 2, J.K. Rowling. In the same context as Yates, J.K. Rowling also had to make a public statement after her and the other studio executives made the decision to keep him in the film. According to the statement, after claims were made about Depp, it was considered that the studio recast him. But Rowling implied that the fans might not know the full story on the matter, implying that Amber was hiding things. Saying in the statement, quote, "For me personally, the inability to speak openly to fans about this issue has been difficult, frustrating, and at times painful. However, the agreements that have been put in place to protect the privacy of two people, both of whom have expressed a desire to get on with their lives, must be respected. Based on our understanding of the circumstances, the filmmakers and I are not only comfortable sticking with our original casting, but are genuinely happy to have Johnny playing a major character in the movies." So clearly there, Rowling felt that she knew the truth and stuck to her guns. And finally, number 1, Laura Devenir. Laura Devenir is an interior decorator to many stars, so it's safe to say she's seen celebrities in their truest lights. And even though she's a former friend of Amber Heard's, she did the right thing and made a statement against her in court for the defense of Johnny. In it, Devenir claims that she didn't see Amber Heard's bruises after an alleged fight between her and Depp on May 21st of 2016. And even though Amber tried to release a recording making the statement look false, Johnny's lawyers included an email from after the recordings saying again that Devenir had never seen bruises on Amber's body. And although the timeline of events can be pretty confusing, since Devenir has continued stating that she never saw the bruises, this pokes more holes in Amber's story and clearly proves that she lied.
In at number 6, dog smuggling. Back in 2015, Amber got into some pretty big trouble after she illegally smuggled her 2 dogs, Pistol and Boo, into Australia. According to sources, Amber was fully aware that bringing her dogs into the country was illegal, but she ignored those warnings and did it anyway. The story garnered national attention as she and Johnny were held in the courts for the crime of illegally bringing their dogs with them into the country. It is also said that Amber asked her former assistant to lie under oath to the Australian courts to say that Amber was unaware of the illegality of her actions, even though she was made aware many times before their trip. Luckily for her assistant, the person who was told to tell them to lie refused to do so, but it still goes to show the lengths that Amber will go to in order to stay squeaky clean.
And at number 5, Elon Musk. Elon Musk publicly dated Amber very shortly after her split from Johnny, and many have speculated that he financially supported her through the divorce as well. In one deposition from 2016, a lawyer read out text messages between the two of them, in which Amber told Elon that she was going to get a restraining order against Mr. Depp, with the messages being sent a day after the alleged incident where Johnny threw a phone at Amber. Elon denied having any relationship with Amber before her divorce, but the court heard that he texted Amber regularly and promised to provide her with 24/7 security, with one text from Elon saying, quote, "The offer would stand, even if you never wanted to see me again. Anyway, sorry for being an idiot. The radio silence hurts a lot. It only matters because I really like you." Then the concierge from Amber's building testified that he saw Elon in their building while her and Johnny were still together, and that Amber even gave Elon a key. Then on to the money. Singer Sia actually raised eyebrows when she accused Elon of giving Amber the $7 million that she won in her divorce settlement that she said she would donate to charity, with the tweet reading, quote, "Also Elon Musk, didn't you give her the $7 million she donated from her settlement? She still came out $7 million richer. Why are you protecting her? She will never get the help she needs if we all stay silent." With Sia obviously insinuating that Elon gave her the money so she could save face PR-wise but still leave richer. And considering how whipped Elon sounded in those text messages, it's obvious that he would do some shady stuff to be with her. Or at least that's what I think. And at number 4, James Franco. James Franco did not make any statements publicly, but it seems that he supported Amber privately because he was another celebrity that dated her while her divorce was in court, and she was alleging abuse from Johnny. And we know that they were definitely getting together because there was elevator footage of Franco going to Amber and Johnny's LA apartment late at night while Johnny was away. Franco also did not give evidence or witness statements, but Heard described the visit on May 22nd of 2016. She claimed that she had facial injuries after Depp threw a phone at her after he found feces in their marital bed, which Depp claimed she was responsible for, and we now know that she was. That will never not be gross. With Heard saying in court that Franco made a comment about the bruises on her face, saying, quote, "Oh my god, what happened to you? He saw my face when I let him in, he saw my face and he said, what the F?" Franco was roped into the whole drama because Depp's team wanted him to testify if he had seen bruises on Amber's face the night that they were seen riding in the elevator together. But to appear in court, Franco asked that his answers not be shared with the public, and if they were, Depp would be personally responsible. So we don't know exactly what he said, but we can assume that it would be in defense of Amber, as he was pursuing her and they had worked together before in the past. And at number 3, Christy Sexton. Christy Sexton, Amber's celebrity acting coach, gave testimony that defended Amber Heard, with her saying, quote, "Amber is a very open, passionate, committed, and generous person. She works hard and is very committed to her career," with the coach testifying that Johnny was very possessive over her and he would not allow her to take certain acting roles. Also saying he would never let Amber out of the marriage, with Amber telling her, quote, "Johnny will never let me go." Sexton told the court that Heard had said she was embarrassed at the idea of bad publicity over her marriage with the Pirates of the Caribbean star ending after just a year, but she had to leave him, the newspaper reported. The acting coach also testified what Amber told her happened on the night that Johnny's finger was cut off, saying in a statement, quote, "She told me that he had broken the bottle and cut himself with the bottle that he had broken." Also stating that she was nervous about certain acting roles, as Johnny did not allow her to take certain roles that he found too sexual. In at number 2, Raquel Pennington. One friend of Amber's claimed that she feared that Johnny might accidentally kill Amber and that she felt, quote, "an obligation to stay close to Amber for her safety." In a written witness statement submitted in the Hollywood actors' libel trial against the Sun newspaper, Miss Pennington said, quote, "Many times over the course of their relationship, Amber has confided in me about Johnny's abusing her, both physically and verbally," then claiming that Australia is when she first feared for Amber's life, and allegedly Amber was a hostage for 3 days. Then Raquel was called to Amber's apartment when her and Johnny were in a heated fight, and claims that she walked in and saw Amber crouching in a corner while Johnny was yelling at her. And even though his testimony was very damning initially, she later set the record straight in deposition that she had never seen Johnny physically hurt Amber in any way, and any proof she had was just from Amber's mouth. And in at number 1, Amanda de Cadenet. The British talk show host retweeted several messages of support for Heard in 2016 when the allegations first came out, as she's a prominent Me Too activist and was a friend of Amber Heard's. Most of the tweets she retweeted were supported by the fact that Amber was abused, citing paperwork that was filed at the time. de Cadenet had previously shared a photo of herself with Heard and Amber Valletta during her birthday party, one day after Amber Heard claimed that she was abused by Depp. In the now deleted photo, Amber is smiling, but covered half of her face with her hair. But for a current update on the matter, de Cadenet actually dropped her support from Heard after the leaked audio of Amber talking down to Johnny was released, even saying that she felt, quote, used and misled by the actress.
Amber Laura Heard was born and raised in Texas and made her film debut in a minor supporting role for the sports drama called Friday Night Lights. Following that, she appeared in other smaller roles in both television and film, although her first leading role came when she starred in the horror flick called All the Boys Love Mandy Lane in 2006. However, the film was not released in the United States until 2013 due to distribution problems. By far her big breakthrough roles though came in 2008 when she was cast in the action film called Never Back Down and the stoner comedy Pineapple Express, both of which were huge box office success stories. Now Amber is still booking roles. Recently she took part in a TV series called The Stand, and she has one other film in pre-production. In 2011, Amber Heard worked opposite Johnny Depp in the film called The Rum Diary. The movie was about an American journalist, Paul Kemp, who takes a freelance job in Puerto Rico for a local newspaper during the 1960s. The movie follows him as he struggles to find balance between island culture and the expatriates who live there. A few years after Johnny Depp and Amber Heard first met on that set, the two began dating after Depp and longtime partner Vanessa Paradis called it quits. At the same time, Heard had also split with her partner Tasha Van Reed, although that separation is really where Amber began formulating a bad reputation. According to USA Today, Amber was arrested in 2009 for physically assaulting her then girlfriend Van Reed at the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport in Washington. Apparently the two had gotten into a disagreement after Heard allegedly grabbed and hit Van Reed's arm. All charges were eventually dropped, with Tasha claiming that the situation was over-sensationalized in the media. Regardless, the general public just saw the headline of Amber assaulting her girlfriend, and thus the narrative was off to the races. By 2015, Depp and Heard had gotten married in a private ceremony at their home in LA. Later that year, Amber found herself in more trouble after she breached Australia's biosecurity laws when she failed to declare that her dogs were arriving with her in the country. As a result, the couple had to do this super cringy apology video together. Fast forward to 2016, and that's where this couple's toxic side really began to show. On May 23, 2016, Heard filed for divorce from Depp and obtained a temporary restraining order against him as well. At the time of the divorce, Amber alleged that Depp threw a phone at her, leaving the actress with a bruised face. Although a police spokesman told People magazine that an investigation into the domestic incident radio call found no evidence that a crime had actually taken place. Depp continued to deny the allegations made against him, and through his legal representatives, they believe Heard had concocted the story in an attempt to secure premature financial resolution by alleging this abuse. Now, here's perhaps a really good reason to never trust Amber Heard. According to The Hollywood Reporter, after their divorce was finalized in 2017, it included a non-disparagement clause, which prohibited either party from saying anything negative about the high-profile relationship and the subsequent breakup. You'd think that the drama would have ended with that, but nope. The following year, Amber wrote a scathing op-ed piece for the Washington Post in which she completely disparaged Johnny Depp without directly mentioning his name. It was very sneaky and opened up a can of worms that just couldn't be closed. In the op-ed, Heard writes, "I became a public figure representing domestic abuse, and I felt the full force of our culture's wrath for women who speak out," which is just an outright lie. She did not become a public figure representing domestic abuse unless she's including that assault on her former girlfriend. She isn't though. She's trying to say that she was the face of domestic abuse after the police confirmed that there was no evidence of this. Yet still, she fully believes that she is the victim of our culture's wrath, when in reality, it was the public responding to someone lying through their teeth. The biggest indicator that she is truly living inside of her own bubble is this statement. "I'm old enough to remember that in 2017 we were going through what was called the Me Too movement. Plenty of powerful and prominent men were either arrested or fired for their inappropriate actions. I'm sure by now you're starting to get the gist of why Hollywood shouldn't be casting Amber. I mean, if you consider lying as a form of acting, well then she's pretty good at that, but I don't think they do. And from a studio standpoint, why would you ever trust someone who has repeatedly tried to change the narrative while accepting no blame whatsoever? That doesn't really seem like the type of person that you would want to work with." Additionally, the number of signatures to have her removed from Aquaman 2 has now surpassed 1.5 million and is on its way to 2 million. That is a big deal whether Hollywood wants to admit it or not. If you put Amber in anything now, you know that there will be an outpouring of Johnny Depp supporters who will either try to get it taken down or just outright advocate for a boycott. Amber Heard made her film debut from a minor role back in 2004 in Friday Night Lights, and from there she worked pretty consistently in Hollywood and landed some bigger roles. Perhaps the biggest one was when she acted alongside Johnny Depp in The Rum Diary.
This one or this one?
What are these for? Party?
It's for Carnival.
The pair were cast as each other's love interest in the film adaptation of Hunter S. Thompson's novel, although they didn't officially begin dating until 2012 after Depp and his longtime partner Vanessa called it quits. Depp and Heard kept their relationship extremely private until they made their first appearance as a couple at the 7th annual Heaven Gala in January of 2014. And just a few days later, the couple was engaged. After getting married in 2015, their love and joy for each other though would be very short-lived. According to Variety, Johnny Depp had suffered a bad hand injury while he was filming Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales in Australia. Although this hand injury wasn't anything like from a dangerous movie stunt, but rather due to an argument that he had with Amber Heard. Then in March of 2015, Depp was reportedly injured again, but this time it was from a massive fight that led to smashed bottles and broken windows. According to reports, this fight led to Depp accidentally slicing off a portion of one of his fingers. Also, I'm speaking a lot about what happened to Johnny Depp in this video because you can't really speak about the truth of Amber Heard without mentioning how she's affected him. Before Amber, Depp was rarely in the press, but as soon as they became a couple, it felt like they were in the news for something every other day. Which, you don't have to be a brain surgeon to piece together that she may have been the catalyst to all of this madness. I mean, in April of 2016, they had to do this really awkward apology video because I guess they violated Australia's biosecurity codes by not declaring the Yorkshire Terriers that she brought into the country. I mean, take a look at this.
Australians are just as unique, both warm and direct. When you disrespect Australian law, they will tell you firmly.
I am truly sorry that Pistol and Boo were not declared.
Now, fast forward to May of 2016, just 15 months after they said I do, and now the once happy couple is getting divorced. Vanity Fair was the first to report on this and said that Heard had cited irreconcilable differences. Not too long after that news broke though, Amber filed a restraining order against Johnny Depp, claiming that he had harmed her. She then wrote a scathing op-ed piece for the Washington Post after their divorce was finalized, citing that Depp, without, directly naming him, I'll give her that, he had abused her several times in their relationship. This led to Depp suing her and the Post for defamation, as the article generated so much negativity around his name that even Disney dropped him from the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. Although they still maintain that it was due to them wanting to go in a new direction, but the timing suggests otherwise. The truth about Amber Heard is that she did this because she wanted to generate positive publicity around her name, in order to advance her career while simultaneously destroying Johnny Depp's. She even went as far as allegedly painting on bruises for which Depp argued that he was actually the victim. While Amber Heard accused Johnny Depp of domestic violence, the Aquaman star was actually arrested for alleged domestic violence against her former partner photographer Tassia Van Ree in September of 2009. According to TMZ, Heard and Van Ree got into an argument at the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, and Heard allegedly struck Van Ree. She was then arrested and booked for misdemeanor domestic violence, but the prosecutor declined to move forward, supposedly because both of these women lived in California. Perhaps one of the biggest tells that Amber Heard has completely lost her mind is the fact that before she left Depp's house, she left him a little present. Although she denies it, many people saw the poop that she left on Johnny Depp's bed and immediately blamed Amber for pooping on the sheets. What is this? You know what I mean? Like, she actually blamed her Yorkshire Terrier, but other people are also suggesting that her co-conspirators and friends had a little bit of a role in this one.
It was not left by a 3 or 4 pound dog. I was convinced that it was either Miss Heard herself or one of her cohorts involved in leaving human feces on the bed.
Allegedly, she had been trying to set Depp up for a long time, and in doing so involved 2 of her friends. Just recently, Johnny Depp's security chief alleged that Amber Heard had actually physically abused Depp throughout their marriage. During the court proceedings, security officer Sean Bett appeared in court and gave his witness statement. In the statement, he said, "Throughout the course of Mr. Depp and Miss Heard's relationship, Miss Heard was verbally and physically abusive towards Mr. Depp," adding that on many occasions I witnessed her shout at Mr. Depp. I was also told by Mr. Depp on multiple occasions that Miss Heard had physically abused him. As for the credibility of this man, he was a former Los Angeles sheriff deputy that worked for Depp for the last decade. According to him, Miss Heard often behaved this way when she had been drinking, so he had to learn quickly to recognize the signs so that he could calm a situation before it escalated. Depp's security was cross-examined by lawyer Sasha Wass, who questioned his claim that he had never seen Heard with the bruises or marks on her face, but had several times witnessed Depp with multiple bruises inflicted by Miss Heard. Even though this is called The Truth About Amber Heard, we have to say that some of the details that we just discussed have yet to be officially confirmed, so please do not take all of what I said as gospel, but rather an insight into this toxic relationship that this pair had together. The reason that I assumed Amber may have been the catalyst, as I said earlier, is due to Depp's former romantic partners coming forward to defend him. Both Winona Ryder and Vanessa Paradis said that he never abused them physically, verbally, or otherwise, so it's a bit strange to see all of these sudden accusations coming out against someone that has such a, I don't know, clean track record, for lack of a better expression.
So starting off at number 10, we have Winona Ryder. Winona Ryder very famously dated Johnny Depp in 1989 to 1993, and they had a very public and somewhat messy relationship. But in the end, the two are very fond of each other, and they have such a good relationship that Winona made a point to defend Johnny when Amber was accusing him of horrible things. In a statement, Ryder said, quote, "I understand that it is very important that I speak from my own experience, as I obviously was not there during his marriage to Amber. But from my experience, which was so wildly different, I was absolutely shocked, confused, and upset when I heard the accusations against him. The idea that he is an incredibly violent person is the farthest thing from the Johnny I knew and loved. I cannot wrap my head around these accusations. I truly and honestly only know him as a really good man, an incredibly loving, extremely caring guy who is so very protective of me and the people that he loves, and I felt so very, very safe with him." And even though she made a point to not dismiss Amber's claims, she felt the need to let everyone know that Johnny was nothing but a perfect gentleman in their relationship.
And at number 9, alleged affairs. Along with having allegedly been abusive towards Johnny, she has also allegedly had affairs with multiple people during their relationship. Some names that have been thrown around having had relationships with Amber are Cara Delevingne, Elon Musk, and James Franco. As their alleged affair concerns the defamation trial, both James Franco and Elon Musk have been ordered to hand in any records of messages or any forms of communication with the actress. Apparently, Amber, Cara, and Elon had a group affair in Johnny's downtown LA penthouse, and there is also video footage of Amber meeting with James Franco also in 2016 where they went to the same LA penthouse. Coming in at number 8, arrested for abuse. Back in 2009, Amber Heard was arrested for abuse against her then partner Tassia Van Ree. The two had a 5-year-long relationship, and though Tassia has come to Amber's defense, there's no getting away from the alleged abuse that took place at a Seattle airport. According to the arresting officer, she witnessed Amber hit Ray and then was arrested and booked for the misdemeanor battery charge. Though there was a witness to the incident, the prosecutor refused to move forward with the case and it was dismissed. In response to the charges, Ray told sources that the incident was blown out of proportions and that the arresting officer was homophobic and that's why Amber was arrested, but the officer actually wrote to her Facebook saying that she identifies as a gay woman and that she issued the arrest not out of spite, but because she saw the whole thing unfold. At number 7, manipulating the press. According to Amber, the press is where you make all your money, and it seems like she's an expert in finessing the system. It seems like Amber likes to keep the press on their toes and needs to stay relevant, even if that means tearing someone else down. According to sources, Amber filed for divorce from Johnny Depp just days after his mother died back in 2016, and she filed for a restraining order just a few days before the premiere of his film Alice Through the Looking Glass. It seems whenever Johnny is going through something major and potentially newsworthy, Amber is right behind him ready to overshadow him with her own news. To support this argument, one of Johnny's friends even came out saying that Amber was trying to blackmail Johnny to the press about their alleged abuse in order to stay relevant. As of right now, she's still staying relevant thanks to Johnny, but not at all for the right reasons.
Starting off at number 6, we have Sharon Osbourne. Sharon Osbourne is actually the latest person in this scandal who has spoken out against Amber's claims, and she somewhat defends Amber, but also somewhat doesn't. When she was on The Talk, she shared her opinion that Johnny Depp and Amber Heard were, quote, as bad as each other, and that she could understand the pair's relationship because she once had a similar dynamic with her husband, Ozzy, saying in that show, quote, do you know what I think? It takes two to tango. I think that they had a very vulnerable relationship. I think they're both as bad as each other. She gave him as good as she got it. It wasn't like a little mouse in the corner being battered. She gave him back, and I think that they were both drinking. Then bringing up the idea of potential substance abuse, she added, quote, I don't know what they were using. I have no idea who was doing what, but I know they were both drinking and it's a volatile relationship. I had a relationship like that with my husband at one time. I would give him what he gave me. So here she wasn't directly defending either party, and she was saying that she did think Johnny was abusive, but so was Amber, and the both of them were involved in the violence, relating their experience to her own physical relationship with her husband, Ozzy Osbourne. And I think here she was probably playing both sides a bit, because the statement can really be read for either side.
Halfway through at number 5, Amber's deposition. There's a clip circulating the internet of Amber being deposed during one of the many lawsuits that she's endured through her legal battles with ex-husband Johnny Depp. This video in particular shows Amber trying to describe how Depp abused her, and it's honestly kind of painful to watch. In the video, she's trying to talk about an instance of abuse, but it looks like she's just trying to play a character. We now know that a lot of the allegations of abuse aren't true, so this clip kind of helps to paint the picture that she was making the whole thing up. Her struggling to talk and what sounds like forced crying just doesn't help her image anymore, although it probably worked back then when the allegations still stood. In at 4, Amber's audio. Back in February of this year, the Daily Mail got a hold of audio recordings of Amber which had the actress admitting to abusing Johnny. In the recording, you could hear Amber and Johnny talking about an instance of domestic violence in which Heard said, quote, I'm sorry that I didn't hit you across the face in a proper slap, but I was hitting you, it was not punching you, babe, you're not punched. End quote. This 2-hour therapy session recording was one of the first instances of violence that was brought to light, showing that Amber was actually the abuser and not Johnny. But there are plenty more instances of abuse between the two of them, but this specific line shows how Amber seemed to have downplayed the situation. In the recording, she also goes on to mock and taunt Johnny, telling him to grow up and stop acting like a baby. The recording also showcases Johnny asking Amber to not be physical and genuinely trying to de-escalate things.
I can't promise you that I'll be perfect. I can't promise you I won't get physical again. God, I sometimes get so mad I lose it.
And to hear her tell him that she can't promise that she won't be physical again is absolutely heartbreaking. At number 3, secretly recording Johnny. In an attempt to sort of plant evidence in a way, Amber Heard secretly recorded Johnny Depp when he was angry. This footage, though edited, was given to the Sun publication in order to paint Johnny as a violent and angry person. But just recently, with their trial underway, the full video has been released and is now shedding a new light on the situation. Though the original footage showed Johnny in an angered state, this new untouched footage shows Amber almost egging him on. The video highlights Amber not being concerned with Johnny's well-being, even though he is clearly upset, and the end of the clip shows Amber smiling and laughing at Johnny. To make matters worse, it is said that this footage was filmed just a few days after Johnny's mom passed away and after having millions of dollars stolen from him, so that's why he's understandably upset in the footage. A lot of people who have commented on the video point out that Amber is more concerned about capturing the footage than she is with her distressed husband, but it also shows how instead instead of inflicting any sort of violence on Amber, Johnny takes his anger out on objects like cupboards or cups, never once going to inflict pain on Amber. Coming in at number 2, Johnny's severed finger. As if there was enough violence being thrown around, there's also accusations that Amber was the cause of Johnny's severed finger. During the defamation lawsuit, Johnny claimed that the injury which had caused him to lose the tip of his finger was caused by Amber. He alleged that the incident happened about a month after they were married, where Amber was throwing glass bottles at Johnny, one of which ended up slicing his finger, severing the tip of it. Apparently, the fight which caused this glass throwing outburst was due to Johnny requesting that Amber sign a post-nuptial agreement. As a result of the injury, Johnny had to receive multiple surgeries to correct the severed digit, and had also caused him serious harm to his health, as he nearly died after contracting MSRA, which is a very serious and painful illness that is hard to treat and can be fatal. Finally, at number 1, exploiting assault survivor. During the legal trial between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, we've heard testimonies from a lot of people, one of those including Amber's former employee. Her ex-assistant Kate James took the stand to talk about how Amber had exploited a story that Kate told her only for her to twist it and use it as her own tale. The story in question is about an incident that happened to Kate 25 years ago, where she was involved in an instance of being violated at Machete Point in Brazil. Kate told this to Amber in confidence, but later had her story exploited by the actress as she twisted it and pawned it off as her own violent story. This is a very serious offense because these people who endure such horrors are survivors, and no one has the right to take that away from them or exploit their stories. This kind of thing isn't something that you can treat lightly or make believe that it happened to you, and I guarantee you that if you were in this kind of situation, the last thing you would want to see is someone making light of something that brought you great emotional and physical pain. Amber Heard has been in the news so much this year. A lot of the controversy she's been involved in has to do with her involvement with Johnny Depp's libel case against the Sun publication. This year she's gotten a lot of media attention. At first because the libel case was underway and people were seeing Amber as the victim, but later things shifted after evidence was presented that showed Amber as the abuser instead. Originally, Amber was only set to be a witness at Johnny's trial in order to back up the claim that the publication was correct in calling him a wife beater and therefore not having defamed the actor because of their labeling of him, but soon things blew up for Amber, and instead of being a witness, she became the villain. As a result, Amber got a lot of backlash for her actions, having done horrible things to Johnny like hurting him physically, emotionally, and in a way monetarily as well. We saw a lot of dirt come out that painted a very different picture than what we previously interpreted of their marriage, but this isn't the only picture that faced a lot of backlash this year. So after having concluded her time on the witness stand at her ex-husband's case, Amber decided to take this time to go on a little vacation. Amber decided to take a trip to Istanbul, Turkey, where she explored the city and took some pictures along the way. Now, along with the criticisms that she was already facing with the newly discovered information about her relationship with Johnny, she began facing even more backlash after posting some photos of her in the city because of what she was wearing in the picture. In her picture, she captioned with, quote, "Spent the day wandering around the magic of Istanbul's mosque and couldn't be more in love with this gorgeous city," end quote. People soon started calling her out for dressing inappropriately, with one Twitter user saying, quote, "Oh, she's so respectful, right? At a religious ground showing off her breasts and a see-through blouse. She'll put a scarf over her head, but a bra? Nah." This pic sums up how fake and phony hashtag Amber Heard really is, a walking contradiction. And another user calling her out for taking pictures on religious grounds, saying, quote, "Mosques are beautiful, yes, but they're not props for your Instagram selfies, especially if someone is praying in the background. You should delete those disrespectful pictures," end quote. Now, in response to the backlash she was getting for those images, she defended herself and didn't issue an apology for her actions. Though some called her to remove the pictures, she did not. Now she's back in media attention for the same photos months later because she still hasn't taken down the photos. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. Should she have apologized and taken down the photos when the backlash first started? And are people right to call for accountability months later?